Ladies and gentlemen, theys and fays, weavers of all races and subclasses, welcome to the first recording of the campaign, The Bereft Isles. Ooh, that's it. We're done. That's the intro. Congrats. Um, we're gonna go around and just do a I'm just gonna introduce everybody as far as who's the cast. We have Ravyn who's playing Dis. We have Forrest who's playing Ugleo. We have Keys playing Quinari. We have Pagemaster Penny playing Harrye. We have Robbie playing Chaddious Vorkeek. And we have Thorn playing Shade.
Hello, hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So basic rundown, the players already know, but for the listeners, 20 years ago on these islands, the magic was ripped away from the islands, and only a little bit came back. They never got their full connection back to the ley lines. So there is a magic chart that is going to be available for the listeners to look at on DC checks and things on how to cast spells. And if depending on how they roll on that chart, you end up rolling on the wild magic table. So fun stuff. Now, I did forget for the listeners to actually go through some of the table rules. So if you want to donate to the Ko-fi link, Twist of Fate, $5. The players get to re-roll any D20 roll. If you donate $6.66, I, the Story Weaver, get to re-roll any of the players' rolls. For the players that haven't gotten to hear this yet, there's a new mechanic that I am doing. If you have no dice in your dice pool, so we've gone through a long dungeon or something and you've healed up and used all of your hit die. If you hit 0 when your dice pool is empty, you die instantly. There is no rolls. It is just death. And then
Wait, what? We don't have death saves?
not if you don't have any hit dice. So at level 10, you have 10 whatever your die is for your hit dice or your hit dice pool, whatever. If you use all of them, if you expend all of your dice healing during combat or during whatever short rests and things like that, if you have 0 hit dice in your pool, when the next time you hit 0 HP, it's instant death.
Oh, shit. Okay.
There are going to be instances where we roll a sanity check. The DC changes depending on what is happening in the world, but it is just an intelligence check. And there's a range 0 to 20 on the sanity. When your sanity level hits 0, they have to roll on the madness tables, and I will share that later with y'all. There's a couple of other fun rules and stuff that the listeners don't need to listen to. So we find ourselves in Otterton. It is a functional and just logistical heaven for those with OCD. It is 90-degree angles. All the roads and buildings and things are all grid patterned. And I want to go to Dis, played by Ravyn. You are in your shop. Do you remember your shop's name?
The Fable Stable.
The Fable Stable. So this is where you do a lot of your reading. This is where some of the inhabitants of the island come in to get a book or rent a book. And off to the side of your shop is a bulletin that you can see with your ridiculous passive perception, that there is this crayon papered help wanted sign in terrible handwriting that just says help wanted lich hunting.
Passing. I will pick that up.
Okay. You do know that there is a couple of people that you can go to for information. Obviously, the Humble Scroll with Merwin Wildbottom is somebody who knows a lot of things, but also the Ivory Tap House is kind of somewhere that everyone seems to go and share information while they drink some tea.
Yeah, I think I would definitely go to the Ivory Tap House and check in with Dondrick.
Mhm.
And honestly see if one, he recognizes the handwriting, and or two, if he might know who is having a lich problem.
Okay. Um, when you when you approach Duldrick with this piece of paper, he's already like internally sighing, and just points to a table where there's just this rather large-sized person at the table, and he's not necessarily boisterous, but you can see that he is annoying other patrons. Chaddious, will you describe your character?
Sure. I am Chaddious Vorkeek. I am a large human, and I'm wearing very embroidered like armor. It looks very fancy, but it doesn't look very practical. And I have a massive golden axe that I'm holding next to me, and a much more damaged looking axe that I'm holding to my side as well. I have blonde hair. I'm muscular. I'm very, very good looking, at least to myself. That's what I think. And I have very I look like I haven't fought a battle in a very long time. I look very put together, very fancy. My hair is slicked back. I look very clean and well shaven, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm trying to regale everybody with my stories of conquests that sound too elaborate for me to have actually gone through. And I'm doing it very loudly while I'm drinking, and I'm spilling my mead that I have in a cup just on top, like onto people as I'm like doing motions with my hands, and I'm like, and the dragon was huge, and you'll never believe how I defeated it. And I like spill it on somebody, and they just kind of like shudder a little bit, clearly uncomfortable, but I'm not getting that. I think they're completely enthralled with my story.
As a matter of hilarity, Chaddious is not actually drinking a mead. He just likes to call it a mead. This island is entirely a dry island. There is no alcohol in this tap house.
No one told me that.
I don't think Chaddious cares. I think that he would just continue calling it a mead. There are drinks that taste like mead. They're just non-alcoholic. So all of the acting of being somewhat inebriated is just Chaddious being Chaddious.
Yeah, I'm getting a sugar high off of this.
So I do look to Duldrick, and I'm like, I really thought this was a child that wrote this in need of help.
You would have been correct.
In some ways, yes.
How
You were correct.
what do you know about this guy, Duldrick? And I'm speaking Dwarvish, by the way, to him.
Oh, cool. So in Dwarvish, of course, he'll reply, and he says that what you're looking at is the epitome of a family disappointment. He is of the Vorkeek family, and as you know, he's supposed to be either a ranger or a realtor, and he decided that he was going to be a paladin, but he failed the class, so he is now what you see here, just sitting and just being really annoying. But he is the one saying that apparently there's a Lich. I haven't heard anything about a Lich being around, but he's hunting one, so you're more than welcome to take him off of my hands.
Oh, I am not a babysitter.
You sell books, kids go into the store. It's the same thing. I mean, really, just when you're talking to him, just make sure you enunciate and speak slowly. He's not very bright.
Okay, I will keep that in mind. You do owe me one after this. I expect a good textbook from you.
He just knocks on the table and smiles at you.
So I do make my way towards Chaddious, and while going that way, I try to like view any of the people, if they're paying attention to him, how they're looking at him, just general behaviors, you know, seeing if maybe he has any allies that are around, if it's an act that he has up, and there's maybe others with more malicious intent.
I don't think there's any people with malicious intent. But everyone listens to his stories, and some of them are either in awe or just kind of, being just, I guess, cordial with him, like, yeah, okay, you've done these things, and there was a dragon. It's fine, just kind of letting him talk. I would think that his good friend from the Exalted Fitness would be nearby. Harrye is somebody who you've seen around town before. You've heard some of his exploits, and he's sometimes next to Chaddious because they frequent the fitness club, the Exalted Fitness, together quite often. Harrye, can you describe your character for me?
Of course. So you see a man sitting close to Chaddious. I do think we are like same table next to each other. I am quiet for the moment, paying attention to Chaddious' story, allowing him the time to expound, as it were. You see well-kept, like silky brown hair that seems to end in golden tips that shimmer, independent even of light sources, it seems. Well-dressed, perhaps a little too well-dressed. Like, it's clear like this man puts a lot of effort into his style. Nice blue accents, a little bit of like bluebell embroidery, basically. And the more astute of you would notice that he has a set of pouches around his belt. One of them looks a little strange until further inspection. It's hard to tell like what the shape of this pouch is, but looking closely, you can see that it appears to be a pocket-sized book meant for travel. He seems to have a confident air about him, but for now is remaining quiet and listening to Chaddious speak.
And then everything went boom, and there was flames everywhere, and I leapt through the flames and grabbed the damsel by her waist, with her consent, of course. And on top of that, I took her all the way to the other side, and then I hit the dragon with my battle axe. The dragon fell with one swipe of my battle axe, right? And I looked to my companion.
Yes, of course. I didn't see this myself, but I've seen you fight. I can believe this, what you say.
Friend, you are too humble. Of course you were there. And I my eyes twitch and look at you.
Oh,
Thorn?
yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, I remember now. You just had so many wondrous adventures that I had forgotten this one.
I'll go ahead and start making my way towards Harrye instead of Chaddious.
Okay.
He seems like the one that'd be better to talk to than Chaddious.
I got a 19.
A 19.
My first roll was a 4.
Ravyn, what's your passive insight?
My passive insight is 20.
Okay. So I would say that this is it's a believable lie, but you could still see that you saw the twitch of Chaddius's eye, and clearly he was not being forthright with his story.
Yeah, that's also why I'm heading towards Harrye. But I do make my way towards him. I kind of like give him a nod, and then I sit right next to him. And I slide the paper towards him, and kind of look at him from the side, like my eyes, like side view. But then I kind of keep my eyes on Chaddious.
All right. We will move to Shade, played by Thorn. Can you describe your character for me real quick?
Okay, Shade is a tabaxi. He's looks like a rather large cat.
Mhm.
That's looks like a feral house cat. Basically, he's very short-haired, gray, bordering on black in spaces. He wears some nice, really dinged up armor. It looks like it's been through the ringer. Couple of swords that, again, just chipped and scored, and this really large crossbow on his back that is pretty impressive. But he's got it strapped across his back, and he tends to stick towards the shadows when he walks around. So he keeps his hood up on his cloak, which is green and rather rugged, well worn. Everything he wears is well worn.
Okay. I think you're probably out afield with your companion, and maybe you were just coming back from the preserve, where listeners would know that there's essentially a not necessarily a zoo, but more of a rehabilitation center for a lot of the creatures that were affected by the event. And you had just finished bringing back a wounded cockatrice to the preserve, and now you're back on Otterton. And as you step off at the Traveler, which is kind of a shipbuilder dock, most of the travel goes through one of the departments of the Traveler. There is a cloaked figure who you've seen many times before. Villarian is a ranger, and he is also a Vorkeek, and he comes up to you and he's, Shade,
Ilrian, how you doing?
I've been better. I've had some troubling news. Somebody is hopefully dragging my brother's name through the mud. Because if this, and he hands you this piece of paper with just the handwritten scrawl of help wanted, lich hunting, if this is my brother's doing, I don't know what mother will do to him.
This looks like it was written by a child.
Yes, which is why I hope it's not my brother. But we all know that he's not the brightest. And honestly,
brother.
Yes, he's also not the sharpest crayon, and it clearly wasn't used well. So, if you could, I know that he frequents the Ivory Tap House. If you could just talk to him, make sure that he's not the one hunting a lich that I'm almost 99% positive does not exist on these isles.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything about a lich.
There's no magic. How do you have a lich?
It's undead. Have we seen any undead since? I'll send word if anything comes of it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And he
starts
walking
I'll
away.
let the other rangers know, 'cause I'm assuming he actually works for the rangers.
He does.
Okay. I said, I there's some in town somewhere. There always is. I'll send word that way.
And he just nods and starts walking away and heads towards the Traveler to presumably get a boat and start making his way.
And Teddy comes out of the shadows and swipes at his legs to trip him up.
So he does get kind of swept off of his feet a little bit, and you just hear an expletive. You know, he curses a little bit as he trips, but he doesn't even like try to make it audible. He just really wants to ignore Teddy completely, and so he just kind of like swats a little at him and just keeps walking.
Yeah. And I look back at Teddy and just kind of give him a look, and all I hear in my head is a deep throated kind of rumble. And I just kind of shake my head and start walking towards the place where he said Chaddious was at.
Awesome. And we will go to Ugleo. Where would your character actually be right now, Forrest? Would he be at the research and recovery lab, or is he off somewhere else?
First off, I'm looking to who. We asked what he was doing, but he is currently over at the research facility, just hanging out, being an owl. By the way, Ugleo's a screeching tropical screech owl. He is about 8.3 inches tall, about 4.5 ounces in weight, has yellow eyes, brown feathers. The variation is very like polymorphic. Has some like some black patterns here and there. Though specifically amongst the feathers is a lightning-shaped scar that kind of tatters, not really tatters, but like flows across from his chest to his back, almost like got struck by lightning.
Okay. As you
that lightning is now like permanently a part of him.
Gotcha. As you're in the research and recovery lab, a familiar face, Lafayette, it comes up to you, and he's an otterfolk, and he looks kind of nervous to come up to you a little bit, even though you guys have had a decent rapport for the most part. I mean, he comes up to you and he's Ugleo, I had a question about your previous life.
His head just like 180 looks at him without even turning his body.
God.
It's like, huh?
I hate when you do that. So I just when you do the 180, it freaks me out. Anyway, what do you know about liches?
What do I know about liches?
You worked very closely, probably with a lich, not you directly, but because of who the wizard was that had enslaved you as a familiar. You had great dealings with liches. You do know, however, that as far as you being attuned to that kind of thing, there is no lich on the Isles. So, yeah, that's pretty. It's kind of interesting to be listening, hearing what do you know about a lich?
And like as he's like thinking, his body, he starts to like kind of not elongate his body, but makes his body like thin. Like originally he's like kind of like typically like round, his face is round, body is a bit round, but then he like kind of lifts his body up, makes it a little bit thinner, and his facial edges kind of gets a little bit sharper as he's like, why are you asking about a lich?
Well, it's just somebody, I don't know who, and he kind of chuckles at saying who, but I don't know the person who has written this, and he shows you a piece of paper, handwritten terribly in crayon, essentially, and it just says "Help Wanted, Lich Hunting."
This writing seems to be that of a juvenile.
It does, but it seems like there's been somewhat of an upheaval in the center of town near the Ivory Tap House. It seems that quite a few would-be adventurers have been going and talking about this help wanted ad, for lack of a better term.
Okay. Well, does it have to be in a tavern? Like those places are kind of
Well, I mean, it's
scary.
It's
not going to lie.
It's the Ivory Tap House, as you know. There's at least no alcohol there. There's, it's a dry island, thanks to Ishmael, rest in peace. But
Rest in peace.
It's
like loud noises, clanking, a lot of talking.
I know, I know you don't like the music, but if you could, obviously I'm trying to continue Ishmael's research, and so I really can't leave myself. And honestly, if whoever is hunting a lich, that kind of scares me anyway. So if you could, I mean, you're the most traveled out of all of us here.
Okay. Got any alchemy's tools? I feel like this is gonna take me out of this town. If we're dealing with a lich, which I'm surprised that there'll be any in this island.
And he just kind of nods and just says, "I've never heard of a lich being on the Isles. I mean, I guess it's not completely impossible, but you would think that with all the magic being as it is, we would have heard something."
Possibly, or maybe they're surrounding themselves by some type of anti-magic field or something like that. It's complicated magic shit with the other magic stuff. I'll get to it. Where's the alchemist tools and my bag?
And he already has it like pre-packed for you. He's just like, I took the liberty of packing you. I put some rations in as well in case you do actually have to leave. But if you need anything else, of course, you know that Merwin at the Humble Scroll is always willing to give you whatever gear you might need.
He flies over to him and looks in the bag, specifically the rations. Is like dry mice. That's just ice kind of grows.
Yeah, only the best for you, Ugleo. Only the best.
Awesome. Thank you. As he does a little bow and kind of picks up the bag itself is also very small.
Mm-hmm.
As well as his alchemy's tools. It's made for his little owl self. And he's like, okay, I'll let you know how things goes, and hope if anybody tries to catch me, okay. As he ruffles his feathers and he flies off.
Awesome. And being that you are a flying being, luckily, a lot of the doors in the research and recovery lab have been refitted for you, and so they all automatically open when you are headed towards the door, and so you are able to easily fly out and make your way to the Ivory Tap House. As you get to that door, however, it is not an automatic door yet, so you may have a little issue with your lack of thumbs.
As he flies over in front of the door, and he's like, then he flies over to one of the windows and kind of starts pecking, pecking at the window, see if anybody can
I think at this point, you probably would run into Shade and potentially Teddy if Teddy goes in the town with Shade.
Yeah, he is. He's with me. So what you actually see, Ugleo, with Teddy is a completely bald displacer beef beast with 1.5 tentacles. I mean, he's full size, the size of a panther, but maybe a little smaller, but yeah, completely bald. Pink as the day he was born.
And I think you would actually know Shade and Teddy a little bit. You know, obviously, being who you are, you probably wouldn't interact with them too much. You don't like really talking to a lot of people, but Shade is known around Otterton as a helpful person, especially towards beasts and things like that that were affected by the event.
Still gets a little got a little spooked by that, but we was like, oh, that's looks like there's Shade. Then where's the owner? Excuse me, as he kind of perches up to, towards the displacer piece. It's like, think you can let me in the door tavern? Maybe you can use your points.
You go specifically to the displacer beast and not Shade.
Yes.
Would you like to voice Teddy, Thorn?
In your head, you hear, how? I don't open doors.
You can use your tentacle probably, or even one of your claws to
He kind of cocks his head at you and looks back towards the tall tabaxi, and you just hear Shade go, I got it. And Shade opens the door. And he looks down at you. He's like, after you.
I looks over at Teddy and kind of gives him a bow if he's still in his head. And he's fellow psionic. I think I'll find another psionic animal in this island, but just thought you were a weird displacer beast. But yeah,
he kind of looks at you sideways again, and looks back at Shade. Shade's like, he doesn't really like to talk to other people, but you intrigue him, so he might talk, he might not. And Shade just walks in.
Ugleo flies in and gets on it like one of the lamp perch up top.
Okay. As you guys enter, you are hit with the standard bar scene. The Ivory Tap House is a piano bar. It's a piano bar meets tea house. It is lounge music instead of really hard club music or anything like that. But there is a piano player playing right now, and weirdly a banjo player. But the way that things are going, it actually is at least decent in Shade's mind. Ugleo is probably just too much noise. But there's plenty of people around. There's a somewhat larger group by a table with Shade sees Chaddious and Harrye, who he knows closely, and then also sees Dis, who Shade has worked very closely with in the past. But as we get to that, we'll switch over to the banjo player. Quinari, can you describe your character for me?
Yeah. So you see a banjo player. She is an elf with long, red, wavy, wiry hair. And she's kind of wearing flowy, light clothes. I'm gonna say like a sage green color that has been very worn but very loved, and she's just kind of plucking away, just playing tunes. And you see on her hands that they're lighter than the rest of her skin because she's pretty tan. She's got some freckles, but her hands, kind of going up her arms, she has vitiligo, so it's a lighter shade than the rest of her. And she's just kind of plucking away and taking requests and just having the time of her life.
Yeah, and as you're playing, you see, Chaddious fairly well because he frequents here quite often, and Harrye, who still hasn't figured out how to get on Doldrick's good side, for the speakeasy that is inside the Ivory Tap House. So he's been barred entrance so far, but he knows it's there. It's gotta be. There's thieves' cant everywhere saying that there's a speakeasy, but he just can't get in there. So those two chuckleheads, and they're getting quite a group going right now, and you're aware of Chaddious's help wanted poster, as more and more people have been bringing these posters everywhere from town and bringing them to the table and just trying to talk to Chaddious and Harrye about what's going on.
We love it. I'm gonna slowly start. So she's gonna slowly start slowing down and say, "Hey, I'm gonna go grab a drink. Do you want anything?" To the piano player.
And he just looks at you and then just shakes his head. He kind of looks over to the barmaid, and you've had this interaction before. The barmaid already knows to come up and kind of take your spot, to sing, and the barmaid's name is Doris the Gentle. So Doris the Gentle comes up and grabs the little mic and starts singing some improv with Kaleo playing the piano.
Sweet. I'm gonna go up to Doldrick.
Doldrick.
And Doldrick, yep. And I'm gonna ask him what is Chaddious getting into today?
I don't even know at this point. I mean, everyone's been bringing in these stupid crayon writings of Lich hunting, and he kind of does air quotes, and it's
Do you have one of these posters? Can I see it?
he holds a stack of 15 of them. He's just here, take it. I don't need these. Just yeah.
I'm gonna grab the full stack.
Okay.
And I'm gonna slowly walk over to the table and just sing a little tune and kind of flip them up in the air like they're money. It's just a lich or not a lich? A lich? Not a lich. And I'm gonna kind of toss it around the table.
Okay. Chaddious, do you have a response to what's going on?
I grab one. I'm like, you found them. What do you think? It took me a while to get the lettering correctly, but I think I fully conveyed my message appropriately, as my brother would say. And I put my hand on my chest and do this proud wiggle with my body, and I'm just ooh hoo hoo. I feel like I really accomplished something here.
And what exactly were you trying to accomplish, Chaddious? Just out of curiosity.
I'm looking for a band of warriors to take on a mighty lich that is terrorizing the city.
Chaddious.
Yes.
Part of the reason why I moved here, because there's no magic. With the Lich, you need to have magic.
There's very little magic.
That is what I call false narratives. You see, that there is no magic.
Oh, all right. And
look at me. I have not a wound on me, and look, I am completely unscathed from all my adventures. What would you call that if not magic? That I am not dead.
He is correct.
Yeah,
Does
Ugleo would be
Ugleo hear
there.
this?
Yeah.
At the mention of like magic and there being no magic, you guys see a little owl kind of like fly over in the middle of the table, with a little backpack and a little alchemist pouch, and it says, "Well, technically, magic is suppressed here in this location. It's still
Yes.
possible. It's just
Yes, that tiny bird speaks the truth. Exactly. What did you say? Suppressed? I don't know what that means, but I definitely agree with it.
It's at this point that Teddy pounces a little sneakily onto Dis, who they know each other quite well, but just kind of cheekily just pounces on you and wants to surprise you with some displacer cuddles.
And I'm like, oh no, you got me again. And I just like fake dying in the chair.
Yes, look at the mighty warrior taking down its prey. You are the strongest thing I've seen today.
Teddy literally just licks Dis in the face and kind of turns and looks at Chaddious, tilts his head a little bit to the side, and goes back to licking Dis in the face.
I just like snuggle the face and give kisses on the cheek.
Ugleo is going to like go over to Chaddious and like on the. If you want to talk about it later, I can like go into like explicit detail on like what suppression is, since you don't seem to know about that. As he kind of like goes into a Scarlet pack, and a book takes out like a good like almost say like an inch, but it's very small like writing paper. And it's like, I've also written down like, the nature of magic, stuff like that. And in my book, if you like, take a read, as he lifts it out with his beak. It's very small.
I look at Ugleo and lean over, and I really, really like sternly be like, do you think you could read it to me? I can't read.
Oh, I can. I can read you right now if you want.
Maybe not right now, but yes. I like where your brain is going.
And he like starts like kind of jumping a little bit excitedly. He's like, "Oh, I'm excited! I'm excited! Oh, don't get to do this very often, but yeah, a student.
Excellent. Yes, a student. I must warn you that the teacher said I am a lost case. I can only imagine that is a good thing, because I can't imagine them saying anything bad. But yes, a student. That is what I'll be.
Oh no! As he as soon as he looks and it's like, you know what? No, nobody said that this is gonna be easy. I'll take the challenge. But besides that, as he shakes his feathers, I'm guessing you're the one who gets brought everybody here for a Lich.
Yes, I am. And is everyone here responding to everyone at this table going to travel with me to take down this Lich? They look around.
Out of curiosity, where exactly is this Lich?
Oh, I have a map hastily drawn in my quarters. If I can just remember how to get there again. And I look at my companion and I'm like, Harrye.
Yes.
Harrye?
Yes.
Harrye? Yes.
Yes.
Do you remember where I left my keys to my quarters?
Yes. And Harrye, understanding who his companion is, extracts them from his pocket, because he knew Chaddious would A, leave them somewhere, and B, not notice they were taken. And so it says,
See, there we go.
Yes, I was keeping them for you.
And I pat you on the back and I'm like, you've got a great head on your shoulders. Yes, good. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. Yes. I have the map. I just need the people.
Right. Did you draw this map, Chaddious?
Yes, with the same crayon I used to put out this wonderful flyer.
No, okay. You got 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place, honey. I don't
And I will
know.
win.
Oh, nothing goes over your head, does it?
Nope. Nothing. You are correct.
Oh, sweet baby. I'm out of just pure entertainment. I'll say yes.
Excellent. Perfect. I'll have to get you a battle axe, but yes, perfect.
I rather not. I'll just take my banjo and call it a day.
I think a battle axe would be too big for me.
Well,
Let's see.
I'll make one with like toothpicks and like tiny knives, you know.
I'm just gonna look at Shade. I'm gonna give him the eyes that he knows what those eyes mean.
I'll be back. And I'm literally, and I look as I leave. Teddy starts to follow. I said, "Nah, stay with this. I'll be back in a minute." And I leave
Okay, where do you go?
straight to the Rangers.
Okay. So at this point, the Ranger Corps information area is the humble scroll. It's Merwin, you know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So so you get there, and I mean, for the listeners, the humble scroll, when you see this building, you know, imagine a 1920s storefront with, you know, glass windows, you know, displays inside, you know, different adventuring clothing. This is like a general goods store, and the title of the shop, the shop sign, it looks like it used to say the Arcane Scroll, and then somebody put a line through Arcane and scrawled humble on top of it. And Merwin is just this old gnome that he's he's got like a classic, weirdly classic traditional red gnome hat, and some brown overalls, and he's, you know, almost always seen either writing or tinkering on some kind of gear that has been sent to him, and he sees you at the door because he's always looking up and seeing who's coming in, and so he just kind of waves you in.
Marwin.
Yeah, Shade, what can I help you with?
I need to get a message to Vilrion.
He just left.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Okay. I mean, well, I here's some paper. Here's a quill and some ink, and he kind of, you know, as gnomes tend to do, they rush around, and, you know, even in his old age, he's still rushing and getting you the things that you need for a letter, and he's, you know, if you hurry, we can put it on my falcon, and we can get it to the ship before he lands. I'd rather.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I write out Vilrion. It was your idiot brother. I'm sorry, but you're going to owe me so much because I'm going to keep this fool out of trouble. With everything I can do, I will keep him out of trouble for you. So if you see any really good potions up there, I'm a little low. Anything that we could use to help with the animals, just go ahead and pick it up because, man, you're going to owe me so much for this. And I cited off Shade, and even Teddy's not sure about him yet. So go ahead. That's the PS.
Right.
And I give it to Merwin, say, yeah, set the falcon. You'll be able to catch him.
Okay. And so he, rolls it up and puts it on his falcon and sends it out the window. Since he left just a little bit ago, I mean, it's probably not going to be more than maybe an hour or so for the falcon to find him. So if you want, you can wait. It's an hour there and an hour back probably is what would happen. Or where can I find you if
I'll be over at Dondrick's.
Okay, all right. Well, send Doldrick and Doris my regards. I do know what is today's meal. Do you know what today's meal is?
I really don't. Was only there for just a minute, but
I'm gonna have to go over
it's
there.
usually pretty good. So
It's always good. I mean, he's a master chef, of course.
yeah.
And so Merwin, waves you off and goes back to basically doing nothing, just tinkering on like things that don't need to be tinkered with. He's just kind of keeping his time there, and as you start to leave, he just stops you just for a second. Oh, Shade, there. Oh, where did I put it? Yes, here. And he hands you a very small satchel and just says it was a gift. I don't actually know who from, but here you go.
Huh. Thank you. Friendly gift.
Friendly gift. I mean, there's it passed the I guess what we're calling the magic barrier, so there's no curses or evil things, and he kind of does his like fingers like ooh.
Yeah.
He's just it's there. There you go.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Of course.
And if I see anything interesting, I'll bring it back to you. And I leave the shop.
He nods his thanks and just goes back to tinkering.
And I literally slow walk the whole way back and stop at the door.
Okay.
And just hang my head a little bit. And I open the door and I walk in. Doldrick, you might want to send Merwin lunch.
Yes, I will. I should do that.
I'm not sure he wants to come here today.
And Doldrick kind of just looks and eyes the table that Chaddious and everybody else is at, and he goes, "No, I don't rightly think anybody will. I made so much food."
Well, I'm sure he can eat it.
And he just looks at Chaddious and goes, "I'm not giving him any more than one plate."
I just nod. I kind of, as I'm walking, I said, Merwin says hello. And it was Dolores, right?
Doris.
Yeah. I look over at Doris, and Doris, Merwin says hi.
And she nods as she's still singing and looks to Kaleo and kind of gives like a musician, notice of like, hey, we're going to take 5. And so finishes the song and, comes down and she does her round. She's also, obviously always the bar's maid as well. So she makes the rounds at all the tables, make sure that there's refills and things. And you can see her go over to Doldrick and grab a plate of food for Merwin and is getting ready to head out.
Yeah. I pull a little flask out of I go up to Doldrick first and grab a drink. Mm-hmm. Pull a little flask out of my armor, dump it in there, and walk up to the table.
He just looks at you because, knowing that this is a dry island and sees the flask, and he just kind of like shakes his head and just starts cleaning a glass.
Yep. And I walk over to the table, throw the whole drink back.
Welcome back. It's very uncouth to have alcohol in a bar.
Did anybody see it?
Is
it very uncouth? Did you just say it's very uncouth to have alcohol in a bar?
Yes, I'm glad you keep up with the joke.
Yeah. I kind of look at him. So, Chaddious.
Yes. Hello.
Did you go get your map?
No, I have been regaling everybody with my wonderful and terrible tale of
Yes.
how I encountered the Lich.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, it
I'm
is truly
sure.
terrible.
I am sure everybody is riveted and loves this story, but I mean, you know who I am, right?
Yes, you're my brother's companion, right? Like,
I do. I've known your brother for a long time.
mhm.
I don't work for the Ranger Corps,
TDIO.
but I work with them sometimes.
Well, how is my brother doing? Is he finally-
Frustrated.
Is he finally trusting me with my workout regimen? I'm telling you, his legs look like toothpicks, and I could trip him at any moment.
Yeah, I know. And he has. I'm sure he has. He's been looking better.
Well, that's good. I'm glad.
Yeah. But I
Let me
would really. I'm going to help you.
Excellent. That makes
There's 6 of us
two,
plus
three,
Teddy, so 7.
5, 6. Yes, there are 6 of us. Exactly.
And you need to get the map so we can look at it.
Yes. The map in my room. One.
And you, companion. I don't know your name.
Are you speaking to me?
Yes.
Greetings. I am Harrye Doherty, companion, keeper, chauffeur, wrangler for Chaddious Vorkeek, it seems.
Just wrangle him back to his room to get the map.
I
of
can make
course.
it to my room just fine. I have only had.
Well, listen, Chaddious, I'm
I've-
afraid you're going to see a squirrel and get, just completely off the rails. So Hardy is going to take you back to your room, get the map, bring it back, and we will discuss how to dispatch with this terrifying Lich.
You know what's funny?
Excuse me,
You make the jokes about squirrels, but they are dangerous.
Where are the
beasts.
squirrels? Squirrels? Where are they? As you see Ugleo starts
Hunt mode.
where?
The eyes
Um,
get big and round.
I haven't these in weeks. Where?
So Chaddious goes up and gets gets the map.
I do want to
need-
say,
Go for it.
Chaddious goes up. Harrye follows him at a short distance, waiting for him to realize that he never actually grabbed the key.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something that happened. And I get to the room and I'm like, where did I put that key? Damn it!
Yeah, pat your pockets frantically, then turn around and Harrye's standing there again, holding it out.
What would I do without you, Harrye? I would lose my head.
Truly, not much.
No, well, I'm glad that you think I'm fully capable. And I grab the key and I unlock it. My room's a mess. There's boulders and half-heartedly put together workout equipment that I keep in there. And my bed has no covering on it. I haven't trashed the room, but it's messy, definitely.
Of course.
Messy. And I walk in and I'm pulling papers out, all copies of this flyer, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for the map, and I find it, and I'm like, the map.
I need a performance check for this map.
Okay.
And then I also need. No, I don't. That's fine. We'll do the performance check on this.
a 15,
A 15. Okay.
and I have a +7 to performance. So-
Yikes. Okay. So this map. It's decent. It's not, you're not a cartographer or anything. But it's above average, especially comparatively to your handwriting on the help wanted posters. And it seems to hop from all 6 of the isles. It seems to it goes from Otterton to Mythok, and then it goes to the Miss Becky Kingdom ruins, and then goes down all the way around everything else to the undertow, and then goes to the immovable, and then back to Otterton. And that's the entire map. That's it. There's no other information. There's no legend. You didn't put any other effort into this thing.
Perfect. It looks beautiful, and we will have no trouble finding what we're looking for. I roll it up, and I'm like, off we go to adventure. And I kind of fast walk out of my room with my head held high and my chest held high, completely and utterly believing that I have found this group and we are going to kill a Lich.
Can you roll me a perception check just for funsies?
14.
A 14. I set this DC at 15 to see if you actually saw the stairs as your head was held high and your chest held high, because I'm imagining this like you are puffing out. You're not just like at a good posture.
It's called peacocking.
Yeah, you full on just fall down these stairs. Nothing happens, no harm done to you, but just full on miss the first couple of steps.
My face plants and I'm like aboard, and then I pick my hand up and I'm like, I planned that exactly as it happened.
And I mean, to his credit, he does he does get up unscathed, and it seems like at least he's literally thick-skulled.
Teddy is literally curled up in Dis's lap like an oversized lap puppy, laughing as a cat does, just growling, and looks like he's smiling, laughing at this. Shay just looks at him and like, be nice.
Did I miss the joke while I was gone? You seem in good spirits.
No, they were laughing at you.
Oh, they were laughing at me? I'm glad. I'm glad I could bring humor to your feline companion.
Well, I mean,
feline.
I wouldn't to his face, no. And I grabbed the map.
So yeah, just as I described it, it is completely uninformative at any point. Like it just bounces to each aisle, it's just the same like red crayon.
You do notice that some of the words for the aisles names are misspelled, almost like it looks like the letters have been rearranged, but essentially it's the aisle.
Are you dyslexic?
Maybe.
Harrye says to Shade, you will have to define this word for him.
Noted.
What?
Oh, you're
it's
just
okay.
about as sharp. You're about as sharp as an iron band of billiard.
Then that is a very sharp iron band of billiard. That's what you said, correct?
It's round.
Yes, it's a very sharp object. Obviously, if it's compared to me, I'm very sharp.
You're a Vorkeek, that's for sure. This map,
like a nice cheese.
It literally is just a map of how to get to each island.
Yes, we have to go through the adventure and go through the dungeons to gather the objects we need to kill the Lich.
What dungeon?
The dungeons on each aisle.
Is this like one of the books you read growing up?
I've never read a book in my life, ma'am.
Well, read to you.
I can see that. Where did you get this information about this Lich?
So you see, there was a very crooked old woman who was hunched over. Upon her hands, she held a bowl with a bunch of beans, and she scooped her hand into the beans and pulled out a bean with an engraving on it, and it said Lich on it. And she said, it looks like you need to do this thing. And I was like, you're correct. And so I asked her where I could find all of the things that I needed to kill the Lich. And she technically helped me build this map.
Jesus.
We're highly unlikely to have a. Are there any hags? I don't think there's any hags around the island. There's not that I know of.
Upon
Yeah.
like Shade and Dis's adventures of going to all of the islands, you've never once seen a hag, or a lich, or any inkling or evidence of such things. There's some things close to hags, maybe in the Mispeki Kingdom ruins, because things got changed and wonky out there. And the immovable is just a completely uninhabited island as well. But other than that, there's really nothing close to what he's describing.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so I'm waiting on a message from somebody here. And
there's
then
no time.
No,
We
there's
must
time.
travel quickly.
There's all sorts of time. Why don't we enjoy some very nice music? Very nice music.
No, there's absolutely no time. We must pack
there-
immediately.
If we pack now, you're going to miss your next workout.
I never miss my workouts. I'm always working out perpetually. That's why I sweat so much.
I thought that was a condition, but okay.
That would explain the
Right
smell.
now,
Yeah.
even right now, my body is working out perpetually. My organs are lifting weights within my stomach.
So at this point, Doris brings all of you the daily meal, which today is what Daldrick calls the ultimate pot roast. Is a very, very hearty pot roast meal. It has a lot of starches, just like a mix of things: rice, pasta, potatoes, all the good stuff. And I mean, if we were going to do like a D10 rating for any of his meals, it always hits a 10. He's never missed any meal that he's put out for Otterton. So she gives all of the meals, and underneath the bowl for Shade has a message from Villarian, and it just says, please gods, don't let him die, but if he does, do it on a different island.
Okay.
I do sneak my meat to Teddy, though.
Oh, I could see
Yeah.
Teddy just eating it up.
Oh, yeah. Teddy just goes to
Oh.
town.
Ugleo looks at the bowl and is like, "Oh man, that's a lot of food." He just starts stripping a little bit from the roast. From his Arcana check, will there be any possible guesses of where a Lich might be? Possibly if there's any remnants of it before the calamity.
I guess you could say like I said, the Mispeki Kingdom ruins are somewhere where things have changed forms completely. Some of the magic creatures that survived, but are we really calling it survival if they're completely changed and tormented or gone insane? There's quite a mystery behind the immovable island, that nobody really goes to that island often. Everyone is kind of aware that everyone calls it uninhabited, but there's some cults and things that are out that way. But that's kind of why nobody goes that way, is just leave them to be them over there. You know that the Undertow is a great underwater town, of all the aquatic creatures. So, I mean, I guess there's like layer-esque places, but that's like, I mean, you're batting, 1 out of a billion. Like that's it is a far stretch for a layer.
Ugleo, like, kind of like, as he's eating, he only like takes he's slowly going on like just like one little like thing of like shredded roast. But he's like, if we can give the ruins a try, but is there not that I really care, but like, is there any like compensation for the other humanoids?
Oh,
This is a money. There's no money on these islands.
No, I mean, like, is this Chaddious going to pay y'all?
There's no
Oh,
money.
Oh no, I'm gonna pay you all. And I take out a sack of gold.
Okay.
Like, how much? I mean,
Um,
we're all going on this one a like
Okay.
whim.
So
After-
I feel like, so Chaddious, if I'm gonna let this happen where he pulls out this pouch of gold, right? But you all know that these islands don't work on money. Like, nothing in here. Like, it is a completely currency empty town. As far as money is concerned, when you leave the Isles and you're going to another continent, you can stop by the mayor's office and get what has been your accruement of your earnings for the town. The more ingrained in the community, there's a stipend that you get when you're living on the Isles. And whenever you come back from travels across the country, you can always put them into what is essentially a bank at the mayor's office. But no one needs money on these Isles themselves. So, like, Chaddious having this gold, he has gone to his family estate and stolen a bag of gold.
I would never steal a bag of gold. It is my
It's your birthright.
birthright. Exactly.
Okay.
I've dealt with, well, not completely dealt. I have dealt with liches before, and
Yes.
just want to.
Excellent. That's the kind of information I want to hear.
Are you sure? Like, these, do you have like the right, equipment, the right skills? His feathers are starting to get a little bit more ruffled about that. As he's like talking, is like this. A lich is no laughing matter.
To be fair,
I will certainly laugh.
To be fair,
you say
To be
that
fair.
you have dealt with a lich before, so if they cannot defeat someone who does not have thumbs, are they really
It's
that
not me
dangerous?
particularly, but my previous owner.
Isn't that a little shady?
Chaddious, don't you need to go pack? Get ready
Yeah.
to go.
I do. I cannot lie to you though. In this bag, there is a little bit of seashells that I picked up on the beach. That's why it sounds so clingy. But most of it is gold though. And he reaches in and pulls out a seashell. He's like, but most of it's gold. Anyway,
We appreciate that. Go pack your things.
I'm gonna make such awesome warrior bracelets for us all. It's gonna be great.
and Shade just kind of bites back a laugh. It just okay. Go pack. Go get all your things. Get all the things. Harrye, make sure he doesn't get lost.
I will openly laugh at this because this is the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Harrye will basically follow Chaddious until he leaves the room, and then he like turns around, leans on the door frame, and speaks to them. So I understand that none of you, of course, believe that there is a Lich.
No.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm just here to see what kind of bullshit he gets himself into.
Good.
No,
I just
there is
wanted
a
to make
Lich.
sure.
I totally believe him. It is obvious that there is one somewhere on this island causing havoc.
I
Well,
can't. There's a very unlikely chance, but if there's a if we're very unlucky, then we're very unlucky.
well, I'm going to tell you all this. I have been asked to keep him out of trouble, to make sure he lives no matter what. So I will island top with him. You don't have to.
Who have you been asked to watch him? That's a babysitting duty not even like the strongest of people would take.
That's between me and who asked me to. I'm just doing it as a favor. But along the way, I might get him into some little bit of trouble here and there because there are things that need to be done on these islands.
No, absolutely. I know that much.
And I've been doing this for a while.
With all my experience with him, it is not getting him into trouble that is the issue. But getting him out of the trouble is most entertaining. Which is why I will be joining you on this journey as well.
Very good. I know you have important things to do, but I would greatly enjoy your company.
Yes, I'm sure you would. And I just
and I'm sure Teddy would be pissed if you didn't come. So
okay, no, that is a low blow.
You just hear a rumble as he growls.
I just like look at Teddy and I'm like, okay, fine, but I expect a book in return to add to my collection.
You got it. I will make sure one comes from the Sword Coast.
Oh, what kind
And
of
we
book?
have a deal.
Is this like a scholarly book, magic book, storybook?
Could be all sorts. Ugleo, I know your situation. I know who you are. You are more than welcome to join. It could be entertaining, or you could learn some things. I know you don't get out of the center very often.
I mean, I do. Just I don't partake in things that you humanoids do.
True. But you might actually enjoy this.
Yeah, new discoveries.
I for one would also enjoy the opportunity to pick your brain, as it were. For I myself am a practitioner of the arcane arts.
He like ruffles his feathers when you say like pick your brain, like pick my brain. I'm like, you
not physically.
No, I don't literally need your brain. Mine is much larger, as it turns out.
I don't know about that.
At this point, Doris comes, picks up the empty bowls or the half-eaten bowl that Ugleo has, and offers you guys a cup of white hibiscus tea, which is kind of like the staple tea here, other than maybe the Slofarin root tea, but this one is refreshing, and almost everyone knows that this adds an additional 5 minutes of lung capacity to the person who drinks this. So they're all in like little to-go cups, and she's like, she pats Shade on the arm and says, "For your little adventure."
I really appreciate that, dude. Truly. If you could have had Doldrick fix me a little to-go plate, I'd appreciate that.
Oh, of course. So she runs
Thank you.
off. Yeah.
And do I know Quinari? Do I know?
I mean, you've definitely met her a couple of times. You know, she's obviously the been one of the bards here. for the past like 3.5, 4 years.
Okay. So
I've
I look at.
also been on the range a little bit, and I quite like your Displacer Beast. It reminds me of home.
Yeah. He's not like your normal one.
No, he's not. Sweet baby.
Yes, he is.
Just,
That one's missing a tentacle.
Yes, we all know that. Thank you.
I feel like Teddy like growls at this, just like, don't bring attention to it, asshole.
That's not something we, it's a little rude. But hey, Quinari,
yes,
more than
sir.
welcome to join us. Would love to have some music at night.
I would most love, yes. I'm going for this for the pure entertainment factor of it all. But I do have to grab some things, so.
Please do. I do warn you, though, I am going to still be working.
That's honestly fine.
Okay.
I tend to island hop quite often to help just where I can. I used to be a farmhand before this, a long, long time ago. So it just helps a little bit.
Yeah. Definitely some entertainment value in this one.
I will ask if you do play, don't play suddenly or too suddenly.
I'll give you a warning, honey.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is who's going. Harrye, please make sure he doesn't get lost. If you need help watching him, I can help. If you need a break, I understand.
As I said, being around him is very interesting. I'm still waiting for him to come back and realize that I still have the key to his room.
Yeah.
And with that, Harrye will give a slight nod and turn to go unlock the door.
So if anybody has anything they need to gather, I suggest you do it now. I'm going to wait here for my to-go plate, and as he takes out his flask and just takes a whisk off of it and puts it back.
Yeah.
And just...
I feel like, obviously Doris comes back with to go, and she actually comes back with 3. She knows Quinari and Dis and you very well because you guys come through a lot. And at least those are the 3 that come in that she likes. So the 3 of you get a meal to go. And she gives Teddy just this like hawk of a piece of meat off the bone. Just whatever the roast was, just gives the whole thing, and it's just like, there you go, bud.
Teddy purrs.
I'm actually gonna follow her a little bit, and then give a kiss on the cheek to our piano player.
Okay.
And I am going to go talk to Doldrick to go get my stuff that is still downstairs. So.
Yes. So Quinari will walk away, going to Doldrick, and she'll talk for a little bit, and Doldrick nods, and to the people that have a passive perception of 15 or higher, notice that Doldrick kind of points, and lets the sliding door behind the bar open just briefly for her to slip in, and it closes shut immediately as soon as she disappears.
Mine's 18. Do I know where she's going?
I'm sure that you've been let in a few times. She's in the speakeasy. Yeah.
I figured that. I was just making sure the character knew.
Yeah. I'm sure Shade has been let in a couple of times.
I'm sure.
Do you know Thieves' Camp?
Actually, I'm not sure. Let me look. I can't remember if I took that or not. I was gonna.
Okay. So I mean, Doldrick would have, like, after doing so much work for the community and stuff, Doldrick would have just told you about it and been like, hey, you don't have to sneak the alcohol anymore. Like, just come downstairs.
I sneak the alcohol when I don't feel like going all the way down there.
Right.
And now it's just simply to calm it's not anger. It's not anger. It's not frustration. It's almost a resentment of, because I feel like when people put out quests like this, they're going to hurt the animals and everything that's out there, trying to find something that's not there.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
it's just basically so I don't cuss at him.
Yeah. If there's anything that our band of adventurers need, we're not going to do a shopping session or anything. Just text me. I haven't given any magic items to players, but there are some custom items, mild, like not necessarily magic, but can still be done. So every player gets one equivalent of a magic item within reason. So, do some research, check on that. Ideally, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going to talk to Merwin and ask for whatever adventuring gear you guys need. So if you guys have a special request, let me know and I can figure that out.
Oh, when
Sorry, do you want us to send that to you now?
No, I mean, if you have something already, you can say it, but
when Chaddious is picking up his room, Harrye will see that, so everything's all in disarray and he's like packing everything half-heartedly. It's just a bunch of papers and rocks and stuff that he carries around with him, and his battle axes. But in the closet area, there is it's covered up, and it's like it looks like a cloak. It's covered by like a black, what are they called? Like where you put where you put jackets in, to protect it.
Oh, like a suit bag?
Yeah, like a suit bag. And he grabs it and he's like, my prized possession. I can't forget you. And he carries it with him.
Nice.
Is there a mini fridge?
Is there a mini fridge?
Yes.
I mean, there's something like a mini fridge, I suppose, in the Ivory Tap House. Are you looking for specifically a cooler to carry on your tiny owl body?
Probably not. Well, I can't carry it, but I could probably ask nicely if we can someone can bring this with us, but something to put my potions in when I make potions.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. If somebody's willing to carry Ugleo's igloo.
Well, we used to do that. Let me ask you this: do bags of holding work on this place?
So far, you have not found one that works.
Okay.
I use magic
I'm
when
willing
you
to
use
carry it.
technology.
Because bags of holding kick ass.
They do. But I'm willing to carry a little igloo.
An igloo
Mini
for
fridge,
Ugleo.
though. Put your drinks in.
I'll carry it.
Be careful not to take too much, though,
I'm
because they charge
technically
you.
a pack mule, so I can carry something on my back.
He's definitely got the brain power of back mule.
It's true. And pack mules are very, very, very smart animals.
It's
Uh,
Ugleo is going to
yes.
use it as a place for a space for perishables and stuff like that, because he will be collecting ingredients for his potions when he starts to make them and whatnot. So
Before we leave the bar, I do turn to Shade. I'm assuming it's just mostly him and I, because everybody else has gone off to do their things. But I do ask him, and he knows what I mean. What's the mark? As in, not who we're hunting, but who are we helping? Could you go up to him, who's the mark this time?
well, I mean, we're kind of just following him. Vilrion. You remember Vilrion. He's helped us many times. He's part of the Ranger Corps.
Yeah.
That's his little brother.
Oh, my condolences to him.
Yeah. He asked me to kind of keep an eye on him,
Okay.
and to not let him die. So he's bringing back stuff from the Sword Coast for me, and I'm doing it as a favor to him. We've helped each other many times, so yeah, I'm gonna stick it out. But anything that comes up on the islands we go to, I figure I can steer him towards that, so we can help people along the way.
Okay. I mean,
So
that's honestly going to be the safer bet when trying to keep him alive.
yeah, and as long as we control the situation, I think we can help some people. I know there's several animals on some of these islands that need help. And you know, the paladins are always looking for help, and the reserve's always looking for help. So we'll find some things to do to keep us busy. I just want to give him hopefully an adventure, and then we'll be done. Because as far as from what I've seen from the travelings we've done, there's no Lich on these islands.
I've honestly not heard anything either related to it, and I've done quite a bit of exploring.
It's undead. I'm not even sure if we've run into anything true undead yet.
Yet.
So I figure between us and, I mean, and I look up at the owl. I'm like, I know he's very knowledgeable about things, so he'll be able to help us about that. And Harrye seems to be at least knowledgeable of the situation he's in. And, you know, who doesn't love bards coming along? Because they tend to make things fun. So
yeah,
I think we'll be okay.
I'll go ahead and close up my shop then.
Yeah, close it up. I mean, you got us with you, so there's you have nothing to worry about. So,
all right then, I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
And at this point, Quinari comes back, and the only people that aren't surprised are Dis and Shade and Teddy. But she kind of sneakily stealths back in to the group.
What we talking about?
Well, first stop. Well, and I look at the map. What was the first stop he had on there?
Chaddious.
The first stop was the adjacent island that I cannot pronounce nor spell.
It is Mythok. It is the island of Fog. It's a fun one that Shade and Dis have been on a couple of times. Ugleo has definitely been on there. You know, this is the island for the listeners that is perpetually in fog. It is the island of mostly druids and barbarians that still hold to a semi-island nomad style of living. And yeah.
So I mean, we're going to Mythok first. It's the island of fog. It's been fun in the past, but it's also very dangerous. So I ask, please pay attention. And I look at Harrye and Chaddious. and I tell them, please pay attention to me and to Teddy. We will be the ones to let you know if things are okay. Do you understand me?
There is like an eyebrow raise. Despite my company I keep, I am very capable, I'll have you know.
I understand that, but how many times have you been to Mythok?
Honestly, I suppose I haven't.
So,
in this case, I will defer to your advice.
Yes, please. That's all I ask. And I kind of smack Chaddious in the arm.
Yeah.
You hear me, kid? You got me.
Of course I hear you. But I am a fully capable person. But
I understand that you're a mighty barbarian, and we're going to be glad to have you along if we get in danger.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'm glad you're coming along also. I made you this. and I hand you a seashell on a string.
Oh, thank you.
It's a good
And
luck
I
charm.
put it on. I put
I
it
made
on.
one for everybody. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. I made a tiny one with a tiny seashell for the tiny creature right here.
That makes Ugleo very happy, actually.
And I also made one for the lovely, strong cat creature right here.
Well, Teddy doesn't really wear jewelry, so I'll hold on to that one for him.
And yes, though, think of them like good luck charms. You know, I'm hoping that it imbues some semblance of my luck onto you.
Hopefully.
Because you're just so fortunate.
I tie mine to my rapier where it won't like get in the way. And then I go ahead and since I'm assuming we're getting ready to leave, I do go ahead and summon my Drake as well.
Nice.
Oh, you also see that Chaddious has one as well, but his is not like a seashell, even though we call it a seashell. It's like a sea urchin skin.
Oh, Jesus. Gotcha.
Like where it hangs on his arm, the skin slowly begins to like blister and scratch.
Yeah.
I must have left some sand on it. Scratch.
Dis, can you describe your Drake companion?
Yeah. So you just see me kind of like stand there and close my eyes for a little bit with like holding my hand over my heart, and there's kind of like an ethereal glow, and eventually like 30 feet from us on a rock, you just kind of see like a shadow over the sky, and then like a drake land, and the drake itself is a little bit blinding, literally, because it has crystals imbued in its skin, and so like the sunlight is reflecting off of the crystals. The drake itself, his scales are a combination of like purple blending into blue, blending into pink, and but mostly blues and purples. And then some of the stones, if you have a keen eye, it's like amethyst, obsidian, celestite, and he is medium sized and he does have wings. And honestly, he has the horns. I'm not sure if you've seen those horns on goats, but the ones that kind of like curl around the face, but then you also have the straight ones. So he has like technically 4 horns, and he does have some teeth kind of like sticking out of his mouth from top and bottom, and his tail is kind of like the ones that you would assume that help with swimming, kind of like that, like almost, how would you explain it, like the pretty mermaid tails in a sense, you know, kind of, not that it would help him swim, but it's more aesthetic than anything.
I kind of want to get this like commissioned, like an art piece for this dragon, for this drake.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful fine creature right there. Is this your steed?
I mean, I would consider him more of a friend than a steed, but yes, I can ride him if need be.
Beautiful. Simply amazing. Simply gorgeous.
Just be sure to protect your drake from the great wyvern K-Dot.
I'm sorry, what?
No. K-Dot? Is it?
No, yes, it's a good joke. Very good joke. Very topical.
You guys are no. Nah, get out of here now.
What's his name?
So my drake's name is so I named him Amethyst, just because that's my favorite stone.
Amethyst.
But it doesn't quite feel right. Like I named him that, but I feel like that's not his chosen name. Him and I were still learning to be connected in a sense.
Okay.
Even though we've definitely gone a long way from him being a small drake to now what would, I guess, like a medium-sized drake. Like there's been a lot of time that we spent together. Because he does come from within me, and I still have a lot of turmoil inside myself. I'm still finding myself, and so I don't like. It's almost like he hasn't given me his name, and so we're not always on like the same page. Yeah.
Gotcha. So Teddy does walk up to him and kind of rub his back on his legs.
He likes you and Teddy. Yeah. So like you kind of like see him kind of like purr a little bit in his throat, like a very dragony purr, and kind of like close his eyes, all happy, you know.
Dis. Can I hug your Drake companion?
Sorry, I really didn't mean to laugh out loud. That was supposed to be in my head.
And you just see the biggest smile on Dis's face as she turns from Shade to Chaddious. I'm like, no, please. He loves hugs. You really should.
He does? I love hugs
Absolutely.
Also. And I walk up to hug the Drake.
Chaddious, can you roll me an animal handling check at a disadvantage?
All right, then. Animal handling. Did I take animal handling? I did not.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
All right, and then a 13.
A 13. Okay.
And that's with a -1.
So, a fairly good roll. I'll give it to you. I feel like this Drake like freezes as you hug, probably like around its neck or something, and it like looks to Dis extremely confused and like puts his wings out like, what do I do?
And you see Dis, like, she is trying really hard to hold back a laugh. Like, she's smiling, but she's biting her bottom lip. Like, don't start laughing. And she's just looking at him with, like, sparkly eyes, like, just do it. Just do it. You know you want it.
And
just do
so, with that telepathic link that y'all have, he just takes off in flight with Chaddious held on. It's just... So you are now in the air. Remind me how
amazing.
fast the Drake. What's his movement speed?
Let me go ahead and check my stats for it really quick. Give me one moment. HP, Dex, Wiz, Bite.
Like Teddy watches him go, and then kind of chuffs and looks at Shade, and Shade goes, I mean, you think he'd have known by the laugh.
If you can't find it, I think it's like 50 feet. So I mean,
I think it is.
It in a whopping 6 seconds, you get 50 feet up into the air.
This is amazing.
He is going to dive bomb, and at the very last second, flare his wings to not hit the ground. But I'm gonna need you to roll a strength check. This DC, the DC is going to be an 18.
I got a crit 1.
Oh, our first nat 1. I love this.
That's so appropriate.
So not only are you going to take Jesus Christ, the 5d6 of fall damage, I need you to roll me a d4.
Can I do a backflip?
Can you do a backflip?
Yes.
Roll me a performance check. Let's see what happens.
A 17.
Okay, so Yes, you could do a backflip. You are still landing on your back. But you get the. Go ahead and roll me 5d6 and that d4. We're gonna see if we're on the fumble table.
Well, I rolled a 4 for my d4.
Okay, so you're not on the fumble table.
And 5d6?
5d6.
17 points of damage.
You have inflicted 17 points of damage to yourself, in the most hilarious way possible. I'm. Let's see. What is? I need you to make probably your worst check ever. An intelligence check.
Jesus Christ. Ugh.
I don't
Would
think
you
he's
believe
missing.
that I have 6.
A 6. Okay. So, after that display, and taking that.
Do it again.
Jeez.
Good
That
Lord,
was
no.
so fun.
Let's get to the myth. Let's get to Mythok. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, the Drake is going to look at Dis and be like extremely confused. Like, does he really want me to do this again? Like, what?
And I just look at Amethyst and like, listen, as much as we would all love to see that again, and I'm saying this telepathically too.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
You
it
don't
was
have
fun.
to.
No, it was fun.
Okay.
It's fun.
Okay. But he had fun. But no, definitely stick to Shade and Teddy and I and Quinari, since you know us. And yeah.
Okay.
And I say, I look down at Teddy and I'm like, no, he's not going to do it again. And I say,
like if you all did it again. Just please.
I say to Quinari in Elvish, I say, I'm trying not to get him killed.
Would it be such a bad thing? I'm going to reply back to you in Elvish. Would it be such a bad thing if you did?
Favors. I'm doing favors. So I look at everybody and I'm acting literally like a tour guide.
That'd be a damn good favor. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, actually, real quick, I'm going to run to. I look at everybody and say, I'll be right back. And I run to Merwin shop. And I'm going to write out a note for Vilrius. Say, Dis wants a book. She's helping.
Okay.
And tell him to send it to him on the Sword Coast.
Ugleo's gonna walk up to is Amethyst back?
Oh yeah.
Gonna walk over to Amethyst. And I say, it's kind of intraconic, actually.
Mhm.
It's like you guys seem to have a bond. You guys seem to have a decent bond with each other. Just admirable, but just be careful, okay? Please.
Yes. In back in Draconic, he will respond, or Amethyst will respond. Yes, this one is a good one. I haven't had any problems. And with that, we're actually going to take a quick bathroom break. As you guys leave the Ivory Tap House and you head to the Traveler, as everyone knows, the Traveler is where you go to travel. The Brotham greet all of you. The only person really that they haven't seen extremely often would be Ugleo, because he flies. So even if he wants to go to other islands, he would just fly himself. So it's kind of like a really nice surprise for them that Ugleo is actually in the shop to come travel. So the both of them are Ugleo, it's. I mean, what brings you here with a bunch of like? Are they friends? I mean, do you have friends? And
We don't. I first off, that's speciesist. Just because I'm an owl doesn't mean I don't have owl friends, which I do. Second off, these guys are going to um tour of an island to fight a lich or something like that. So
Honestly, I feel like we're
that's
just on a fight scan.
it. That there is an opportunity to possibly find some more magical discoveries or whatnot. Speaking of which, do you guys have any glass vials?
they just kind of like look at you. I mean, I guess I've got some empty bottles and things. It just kind of like points to like a bunch of empty bottles that they've collected off, different things. They're just random shapes and sizes.
Those are a little. He looks at He looks at Chaddious. He's like, "Hey, Chaddious. Think you can put those vials in the little fridge?"
Oh yeah, of course. Of course I can, little friend. Let's see.
I would say that you pick up 5.
You.
Will this be enough? 5
That's pretty much. It's just perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Chaddious.
Okay. Sure thing. All right. Vials in the cooler. Right? We have a cooler. That's
Yes.
what it is.
Yes.
Okay. Into the cooler it goes.
And the Brotham look to you guys, and for the record, like for the listeners, they're humans in their 50s that have just never truly grown up. These are, if Chaddious wasn't already a character, the Brotham would have been Chaddious's. It's just, they're always spending their time surfing, diving, and just chilling out, either at the shop or outside the shop. They give surfing lessons to people. They build ships. They have a couple of different ship builders on some of the other islands, especially Mythok. The druids help with building some ships the natural way, and so they're just always there. And the
have very nice Thames.
Well, thanks, man. We spend a lot of time outside. It's, you are bulbous. You've got a lot of. I don't know what's going on here, but you must never leave the gym, ever.
I do not. The gym comes with me ever. Look,
that sounds so boring. Anyway,
Shade clears his throat.
Yes. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by, I don't know, Glimmer Stick over here. You need to go to Mythok. Yes.
Yes.
Hey,
okay.
What is a Glimmer Stick?
Me?
Is it a good thing? What's a Glimmer Stick? Glimmer Stick.
Chaddious, it's you. It's okay.
Well,
it was a compliment because you shimmer so much from the oil
as
that you for some reason have on your muscles.
It was a compliment. Both Brotham like just kind of like tilt their head at the exact angle, like the exact same angle. Like, I mean, I guess.
Well,
he just looks at him and goes, "Shush."
Well, to be honest, his brain is busier than a whore on a Sunday night.
And she was a busy whore indeed.
Jesus Christ. I just look at him and I shake my head at him like, Mythok, please, God, get me there.
So the Brotham point towards some canoes, and there's a couple of other people there that are willing to row you guys if you want them to row, or you could just take the canoes yourself to Mythok. It is a very, very short.
I think Chaddious can row us.
I can.
I
Thank you
will
so much for
ride.
the vote, you two glimmer sticks or whatever you complimented me.
I will ride with whoever's the steadiest. Because Lord knows that we can't have this tipping over.
One of the Brotham will point Quinari to one of the canoes, and says that oh god, I forgot his name. Jirelin will row you to Mythok, and they can take one more rider in that canoe. So whoever wants to ride with Quinari. And then Shade and Teddy kind of have to row, or like row themselves, or like only be them and the person rowing because Displacer Beast.
No, Chaddious is rowing me.
Chaddious is rowing you. Okay.
Yes.
I definitely am. But we will tip over the boat if I bring this with me. So, you two glimmer sticks right there. Could you do me a favor and hold on to this for me? And I hand them my bag.
Did you just hand them the bag?
Well, I hand them a bag, yes.
A bag. Okay.
It's full of rocks.
Oh, jeez. So one of them tries to grab the bag and it immediately like falls to the floor.
You need to go to the gym more, you glimmer stick. It's fine. You can come to my gym. I'll train you. You'll be able to carry those rocks in no time. To the rowboats.
Oh my god, he's calling everybody glimmer sticks.
Yep. And it's kind of funny because one of the Brotham is like, it's not his gym though. But it's just like, just stop. It's fine. It's okay. Just let it go. Let him leave. And so you all get into the canoes and either row yourselves or get rowed over across to Mythok. And as your canoes bounce with the current, you guys enter the fog properly. And it's not as thick on the inside than it is on the outside, weirdly enough. But you guys can see the shore of Mythok, and there are some cliffs in the distance. There's a small like cove-like beach, and there's some fishermen tossing some small nets in the water, catching fish and stuff like that. And the person that is rowing Quinari's boat gives a whistle and a wave to the shore, and there's a small like welcome party that kind of approaches the shore. And as you guys make land and get out of the canoes and everything, you guys are offered food and drink from one of the locals. Shade and Dis know this person quite well, and so Talia comes and says hi to Shade and Dis and welcomes them back, handing them food and drink, and explains to the rest that it's customary to share food and drink on the island, whoever comes, and this is our way of giving a promise of protection while you are here.
Really quick.
Yes.
Who's Talia? Just asking as a, like, since I know her.
Yeah. So out of character.
Yeah.
So Talia is also known as Tailsplash. She is one of the few Aquan that aren't in the Undertow Island. She stays here on Mythok as one of the druids, and is in line to be one of the elders for the tribes here.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is this on a dock?
No.
Beach.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
So Teddy definitely rubs up against Talia,
mm-hmm.
and says in her mind that it's good to see you.
She nods and responds back that it's always good to see you, and I don't normally see you with so many.
And he kind of chuckles in his chest, and he looks back at Shade, and Shade says, Yes, I know. It's my fault. It's my fault. And he gives Talia a hug.
And she hugs back, of course. And she looks to everybody else. Looks to Dis, gives her a hug really fast.
I give her a proper greeting too. Like I do a little bit of a bow and then a hug.
Oh.
Because she is in line to become the next elder, so I do still treat her with that respect.
You know, Quinari, it has occurred to me that I may never see my rocks again.
And I have no idea what that means.
I think you're a few rocks short. I'm just gonna be honest. I think you're a few marbles short too. There ain't much going on there. It's just listening through.
Well, you know, I lost my marbles a couple years ago when I was a kid, I guess. Never found them again.
I lost my marbles.
That's such a shame. It makes so much sense.
If it is any comfort, Chaddious, I do believe that the gentleman you left the rocks with will happily return them to you when the time comes.
They're very nice rocks. But it's fine. I trust those glimmer sticks. Whatever they're called.
When you say nice rocks, what kind of rocks are we talking about? Are they
Hand-picked rocks by me. I went onto the shores and I found the most well-balanced rocks that I could work out with. They are perfectly balanced for my size.
And why are you telling me this?
Oh,
Because you asked?
Did I?
you asked me about the rock. Well, I mean, I'm telling you that I probably will never see my rocks again because everybody else seems preoccupied. And
Oh, bless
also,
your
you
heart,
seem very,
honey.
and you seem very wise. Like you have all of these like words that you say that form like rhymes, and I don't know. You seem like you know what's going on.
Bless your heart. I am so glad you decided to give me this information because it's gonna work out so well in my favor later on.
You said, bless your heart.
I'm so glad it's gonna work out in your favor because I want what's best for you, Quinari.
So I kind of pulled Talia to the side.
Yep. Why is the
And
big
I
one
say-
talking about rocks?
Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. And I say Vilrion owes me so much for this. But how's everything on the island? Is there anything that needs to be taken care of?
She thinks for a little bit, and she's, well, I mean the usual things that happen, day to day. There's always one or two of the creatures out there that come in, and either they're hurt or something that's going on. But for the most part, everything seems to be fairly normal. I mean, there's not since the last time you came through, anyway. I mean, nothing that crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so this man thinks that there's a Lich somewhere on the islands. We know that's pretty much impossible. But Vilrion asked me to make sure he don't die. So we're adventuring.
And she truly chuckles at the word adventuring. Yes, quite. I don't know. Do you need me to give him like a quest or something? Like, what do you want me to do here?
No. Right now, the inn, some place for him to sleep.
Does he sleep?
And
it doesn't look like he leaves the gym.
Yeah, I know, but it's just I need to occupy his time. I need to occupy him. And we won't stay long, I promise. We're not going to stay long. We're going to be here for a day, maybe two. If you have something come up that you need me or Dis to deal with, we'll deal with it.
Of course.
And I don't know if you've ever met Ugleo. And he kind of looks over at, or actually he looks down at Teddy.
Mm-hmm.
And Teddy runs over to Ugleo.
Mm-hmm.
And just looks at him. Huh?
Is it Ugleo's currently I was about to ask if there's any like seagulls or like local birds around. If
So
so, Ugleo's gonna.
yeah, I mean, this is like nature. There is all kinds of birds flying around. There's also a few bird folk that are, time to time flying away. Especially Ugleo would lock in on the bird folk for sure. But I believe this is the island that we had said you were born of.
Oh shit! Okay.
So this is this is
got
your
you.
hometown.
So he's gonna head fly over to some of the folks, just like right outside, like right at the end of the beach where like the rest of the forest are like tree areas of it, and he's gonna ask some of the other like owls or birds or whatnot around, like, hey, we've, it's been a good while since I've been here, but have you guys noticed anything out of the usual happening here aside from the humanoids?
So first of all, out of character, Ugleo, it's been a quick minute since you've been back to the island. If you've been back since your freedom, I guess, in the last 20 years or so, you would know some people. I'm sure maybe you would have wanted to come back. But all of the people that you were, or I say people, but you know what I mean. All of the creatures and things that you would have known back before you were captured, they're definitely long gone. Unless they were
all my friends are dead. Gotcha.
All your friends are dead unless they were enslaved and became familiars. So they're either dead or enslaved, one of the two, for you there. And yeah, no, it's fine. So as far as your question of anything odd happening, other than the last time that Shade and Teddy came by, and there was a rather unruly displacer beast that they had to take care of. There hasn't really been anything super interesting going on, except maybe that some of the younger drakes and dragonkin have been a little more restless of late, but they can't really, they try not to talk to them as much.
I might take a look at that then. Appreciate y'all. This place looks, I would say that he has like visited here like a couple times since his freedom. But he's just like, yeah, okay, cool. And I guess this is where the where Teddy comes in.
Teddy runs up to you and looks at you, and you hear in your mind, perch.
Yeah, I'm on the perch. What's up?
Perch on me.
Oh. Whoa. Oh. As he flies down. No, he says, you got any parasites or anything like that? Any...
he starts preening him.
You hear kind of a chuckle. There's no hair or anything. It's just skin. And he just walks gently for, a displacer beast, and walks over to Shade and Dis and Talia. And as they come back over, Shade looks over and says, "This is Ugleo. I don't know if you've ever met him."
I would say that maybe Talia hasn't directly met Ugleo,
but heard.
Definitely heard of Ugleo. I mean, obviously being next in line, seemingly to be an elder, she's kind of aware of all the happenings around. So she kind of just nods to Ugleo and gives a respectful bow.
And Ugleo, this is Talia. She's fixing to be an elder.
Hmm.
Very, very helpful person to know.
Ugleo gonna like fly over to her and like just give him like a inquisitive look. Mm. One of them, what do they call them? Druids?
Druid, yeah.
So I'm getting, it's not just that. Some of the, some of the, some of the, some of the, other birds have said that some of the drakes and dragons have been restless. Know anything about that?
They've
Mm-hmm.
been more active recently, but I mean, this time of year they're usually getting ready to hibernate. We try to stay away from their area as much as possible, give them their peace.
Okay.
Maybe
Which is
it's worth
honestly
looking
what.
into.
Well, it's honestly what we all need to do. The animals have their own cycles.
But it might be
I
worth
mean,
looking into.
I mean, yeah,
Possibly.
we could maybe we could send Amethyst over and see how they're doing. I don't like I don't like to bother them if they're just getting ready to hibernate.
Yeah,
I don't want to throw off
that's
their. I don't want to throw off their natural rhythms, especially with this group. I mean, maybe we could send Ugleo, Teddy, and Amethyst over. It's gonna and I look at Ugleo. I said it's gonna come better from non-hominid.
Yeah,
Agree.
and depending on how many
Guys
come
tend
back,
to-
it will tell us what kind of mood they're in.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll be in a good mood because they're getting ready to sleep for a long time.
Wow, he knows what
hopefully they don't
hibernation
eat
is.
us.
I almost feel like I should
course.
pat him on the head.
Talia
Of course
kind of
I know
looks
what
and goes,
hibernation is.
I'm actually impressed.
So I mean, we could look into that. But other than that, we're here if you need us. We have a sort of map we're following, and
Do you produce this map?
no,
Okay.
not at all.
Ooh, Shade, show
Not
them
at
the
all.
map. Show them
Shit,
the
no.
map.
Shh.
I'm
We're
very
just gonna
proud of it.
we're gonna go to the tavern. We're gonna stick around if you need anything from us. I mean, me and Dis, we're there for you. Anything you need.
Of course. And she bows and she she doesn't really tell you, but she tells everyone else that Keen is the proprietor of the sleeping quarters for guests under our protection, and give her my regards when you go, Shade. But you are all more than
course.
welcome to stay a few nights, and anything that you need, just let Keen know, and she will take care of it for you.
Of course.
So you guys go. This is very much a like straw hut fixtures, very like Tahiti style of buildings. There's like hot springs in the village, and there are the houses are on stilts if they kind of like go over the hot springs there, but everyone's just really really chill and really in tune with nature and things. Like the multiple hot springs have different species of people in there and just relaxing, and the inn is like a great hall round hut, like just gigantic. And you guys are probably led by Shade and Dis to that, since y'all know where you're going.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Shade, Should I greet the plants also? My mom used to say that druids are plants people, so I'm not sure. Do I greet the plants as well? Do they require plant?
I don't think that's okay right now. It might be okay in the future. I will tell you who you need to greet. I promise.
Oh, okay. Then he kind of waves at a fern or like a palm.
You should do that a lot more often, honey. They like being greeted. They also like being hugged.
Oh, they do. I do love hugging plants. Trees are amazing huggers.
You should do that a little bit more often, just to show respect.
Oh
You
my
are
God.
wise. I'm gonna call you Quinari the Wise from now on. When we go into battle, I'll shout it from the rooftops.
You do that.
So you guys get in before Chaddious hugs a tree, and there's all kinds of a variety of species here. Everyone, like the party itself and all of the inhabitants, like you guys kind of know that these islands used to be like the vacation spot, especially Mythok, because of the hot springs. And a lot of people just choose to stay. Once they're like, I was supposed to only be here for 2 weeks, but yeah, this is kind of nice, and they just kind of stay. And
Hotel California type situation.
kind of, yeah. They've never had like a population problem. Weirdly enough, that's neither here nor there. But they so there's a bunch of groups. There's a couple of tieflings. Like there is a hot spring in the middle of this inn, and
Right.
there are some dragonborn on the inside the hot spring, and the red dragonborn is just periodically like making it hotter for the dragonborn, just like doing a little dragon breath and like boiling the water more. And Shade, you see Keen, who is a macaw bird folk, so very colorful bird folk, and she flies over to you and gives you a big feathery hug. She is quite large. It's like actual bird folk, not like Ugleo type bird.
Right. Right.
Ugleo, is there a relation, perhaps? Or
That's so insulting.
Yeah, Keen kind of like looks at Chaddious like, the fuck?
I'm sorry, I haven't been around many bird folk before.
Sorry, do you have relations with fucking monkeys?
I mean,
I wouldn't rule it out.
I'm trying to hide my laughter so hard behind Shade. I'm like I'm using him to hold myself up while I'm trying to hold my laughter.
I
I
think
I'm
we share a
openly
common
laughing.
ancestor, but that's about it. You don't say that to drakes and dragons.
I think
Oh, God,
Keen
no.
would actually look at Chaddious and go, no, I see it. Definitely a monkey.
see, I kind of agree when I look at monkeys. I feel a relation somehow.
That's
So,
like brothers.
Shade, how goes? Why?
Dear,
why? And just like
Um,
kind of feathering towards Chaddious.
He gives her a big hug and whispers, Vilrion.
Well, you're all welcome. And kind of like hesitates at Chaddious to stay the night or so if you need. Is there anything, Shade, that I can? I mean, if that is what is going on, what is there anything you need?
A psychiatrist, I think. Revenge, but no, I'm good, and nobody sees Teddy anywhere
Okay.
because he's sneaking up on Keen.
Ooh, hang on a minute. We're gonna do stealth to perception here.
Yep, he's gonna pounce. Okay. Let's see. Teddy's
I
stealth.
rolled a dirty 20.
Oh, that's gonna suck. Okay, that's a +6. See what we're doing. That's a roll. That is a 24.
Ooh.
Nice.
Rolled an 18.
So the rest of the party, like, you know, Keen is clearly talking to you all, but like her head is on a swivel and just like really looking. But as she turns her head to like look in the wrong direction, Teddy goes ahead and does a slight, you know, nudge pounce on her. And she steps back and kind of like hovers with her wings just a little bit, and she playfully like uses her claws to kind of bat at Teddy.
he literally just rolls over on his back.
Oh yeah, no, Keen's definitely given the pets.
Oh yeah, this is one of his favorite people in the world. So he just snuggles up and licks her, and literally in her mind, you just hear purrs and missed you.
And she says the same. She's, I missed you too.
Yeah.
And just, you know, gets in there, and there's always this one spot on Teddy that she knows is like his favorite spot, and so she takes the talon and just like really rubs in there. And
everybody hears the purr.
Oh yeah.
It's just vibrating like deep in the chest. It's a lion's purr. So and Shay just smiles and looks at Dis and says, "Okay, let's get these people settled." Ugleo.
Nope.
Can you? I need you.
What do you need?
And I look at Dis. I said, would you mind? Because Amethyst probably hasn't talked to me directly yet.
So Amethyst can only speak Draconic. But currently,
which I don't speak.
Yeah, but currently he is in the same bathwater that the other Dragonborn are. That is making the water hotter and hotter. Like, he's enjoying that hot bath. As soon as he saw them, clocked them, went into the water.
Yeah. So I just look at Des and said, we need Amethyst and everybody to, they're in the and Ugleo and Teddy to go check out this stuff.
Okay. And just makes her way to like the edge of the pool. She's not going to get in. And he's like, Amethyst.
He actively splashes you with hot water.
And I just shut back. I'm like, not nice.
Just a little, you know, low rumble. But he speaks to you in Draconic and says, why, oh why, on this day of days, when I have the most comfortable and relaxing hot spring ever, are you going to ask me for something?
I know, buddy. I can get you something tasty later, I promise.
I can get something tasty later, but hot spring.
No, we can come back later. How about that?
Fine. What do you want?
We need to figure out why the drakes and dragons on this island are not hibernating. We need to figure out why they're a little bit more active than usual. Do you mind going to find some information and come back with Teddy and Ugleo?
He kind of stretches his wings a little bit, but not too wide, so that he doesn't bump into anybody, and nods to the Dragonborn, and gets out and extremely violently shakes the water off of his wings to get you wet with hot water.
I kind of shriek, like no, it's hot. Then I go up to him and I just kind of look at him, you know, like kind of how I look at Max, like, you butt. And then I give him a kiss on his nose.
And he starts making his way out, and he looks to Ugleo and Teddy, and just assumes that they're coming.
I look at Teddy and say, "Follow Amethyst. We need to figure out why the Drake and the Draconic aren't hibernating like they should. So go check them out, follow them, find out what you got, and come back. Shouldn't be too long. Ugleo, are you okay with this?"
Yeah. Well, and he's going to fly over on Amethyst's shoulder, and it's like, as long as they don't like, eat me.
Well,
I'll be
I'm pretty sure these guys can protect you.
okay.
Trust me.
But,
How
And there's-
big is Teddy?
About the size of a full-grown Black Panther.
So that'd be medium, right?
Yeah, it's a medium size.
Okay, because I don't think Amethyst can fly with somebody on top of him.
Teddy don't like
Yeah.
to fly.
Okay, then there's that. They're going to be
Yeah.
on the ground for most
Yep.
of it.
Well, Teddy could run. He'll follow you guys. He runs pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you fly
And-
50 feet. He runs 50 feet.
And he can fly brief periods with a medium creature on him, like
Okay.
Chaddious, being flown off the neck, but not full on actual riding
Really
yet.
want to do that again.
Nah. Teddy
but,
can keep up. Yes.
So they go off.
We send them. Yeah, they
Yeah.
go off.
They go off. They're not going to come back by the time we finish this session. There's going to be a little bit, but so they go. Ugleo, when he mentions dragons and eating and stuff, Amethyst will openly chuckle, barrel chested, that vibrates through Ugleo's feathers when he's on his shoulder, but he tells you to hold on, and Amethyst will take off, and Teddy will run underneath.
I'm gonna ask
Mm-hmm.
if there's a change in room because I want one of these hot springs desperately.
There's it's not necessarily a changing room. It's like those courtesy folding blinds.
Perfect. I'm gonna go behind one of those and I'm just gonna start tossing clothes because as a bard, I have a lot of outfits. And then I'm gonna slip into kind of like a bathing suit thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna slip, just literally slink into a hot spring.
Okay.
Kind of when this happens, you can see that my hair turns a brighter orange, and the vitiligo on my hands seems just a little bit lighter.
Ooh.
Fascinating.
Um,
I'm gonna get in the hot springs as well.
I swear to God, if you do a cannonball, I swear to all the gods,
I
any god that will listen to me.
was about to say, is Chaddious going to disrobe first?
Well, I'm going to change, but yes, I'm gonna start taking
Keen-
off my shirt before I'm fully
Keen will
changing.
actively stop you and just be like, before you get in, please use our community shower, and the water we don't want your oils in the water.
Oh, okay. Let me just go do that then. Is there a change of clothes I can get in the
I
hot
just
spring?
imagine that he would try to go in stark naked.
I was going to go and start naked.
Yeah, no. At the shower, there are folded sets of clothing for guests.
Oh, okay. Excellent. That's unfortunate because I've been working on this bod for a very while.
The definition of a white t-shirt contest.
Why?
I think Harrye is going to recognize this opportunity to get more information on the mark that he's certain has no idea she's been being followed.
Mm-hmm.
Is going to go change, quote unquote, behind the same screen that she did, and like try to have a quick peek through the pockets of her clothes, see if he can find any information on this secret underground society that she seems to be a part of.
Sure. Roll an investigation check, and a stealth check.
Can I see if he's doing this?
Yeah, roll a perception.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Yeah.
Also, just quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Quick answer.
Quick answer. I'm gonna assume I'm also like friendly with Quinari. Okay, cool. So like I would also I would keep an eye out for her well-being.
Oh,
So
I don't even need to ask you because I know what your passive perception is. It's
Yeah.
just dumb.
Well,
So-
I rolled a 23.
Okay.
My passive perception is 18.
I have a 25.
Yeah,
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
kind of stupid. That's
No,
just stupid.
this is probably going to be for the best in the long term. I'm not rolling hot today, so stealth is only 11.
Okay.
So like immediately tagged by almost everybody. I think.
Yeah. I think the only person who hasn't tagged you is the one party member who's not there, and then Chaddious, who's currently showering.
Yeah, no, I'm actually looking at in the distance where Amethyst flew off, and I do have like worry on my face, like I'm concerned
Mhm.
because I don't really like being away from him, like for very long periods of time or a great distance.
Yeah.
So while I'm looking in that distance, I just yell, "Hey, meathead! Find somewhere else to change."
Who, me?
Well, what I'm
What-
gonna do, I'm going to actually. Can I cast a cantrip?
You can certainly try.
Okay. It is a communication, and it's a point towards a creature. What do I need to roll?
So you're gonna roll a concentration check. For cantrip, concentration would be a DC 10.
I got a 12. Right?
Perfect. Yeah. Goes off.
And I'm gonna be like, "Hey, you're not gonna find anything in there." I'm gonna point to him, like, I'm gonna like bend backwards because I'm still relaxing, and my hair, it like changes to like a slightly duller orange, like a slightly duller red, and I'm like, "Hey, you're not gonna find anything in there
Yeah, and
unless you
so-
want to see something that is a little bit not PG-13."
No, so like he kind of slips behind the screen and like exaggerated, like stretch, like okay, time to change kind of thing, and then you send the message, and there's like a fuck, and like kicks the screen, knocks it over, like nope, I wasn't, I don't know what you mean, sorry, and scuttles off to go change somewhere else.
You're gonna find more risque things in the pool than outside of the pool.
Defeated, but thwarted, but not defeated. Harrye does change to a simple swim outfit and will enter the hot spring as well.
Shade, where's our small feathered companion?
Taking care of some things right now. It's okay. Soak it up. Feel good. The hot springs are amazing, aren't they?
Well, they are, but I'd like to get on
Yeah,
track
good.
again.
We have the night. We can get on track in the morning, I promise. We have the night. It's okay. We've traveled. We're good.
Well, he's my teacher, so don't let anything
I
bad.
understand. He'll be back in plenty of time to teach you the ABCs.
I know the ABCs.
No,
Can you,
You
do
don't.
the ABCs for me?
I can, but it would be a waste of breath. Anyway,
I
He knows
insist.
he knows his ABCs. He just hasn't gotten to D yet.
I'd look at Keen and say, I could really use some of that tea you have.
Sure. And so Keen will go, get a couple of drinks. She'll look to everybody else to see if they want drinks as well. And when she gets back to Shade, the tea, air quotes, that is given is just straight tequila.
I'm
Yes.
gonna perk up a little bit to see what they have available.
It's a mix of drinks. I mean, they do have alcohol here. This is not a dry island at all. Otterton is the only dry island.
Thank God.
Fucking
Fucking otter.
I'm
Hey,
gonna
they,
get the
they have a bunch of like
strongest,
cocktails and stuff.
the strongest cocktail they got.
Okay. Why don't Quinari?
I'll take a mimosa.
Okay. Why don't you roll me a D100 for me?
A D100.
A D100.
He knows that I don't partake in alcohol, and so I just like push my cup towards Shade because I know that he likes to partake in alcohol.
I mean, she wouldn't have given you alcohol.
No.
No, she
would have
brings me 2 cups. She brings me an alcohol cup because she knows that I like to give it to Shade, and then she brings me like whatever it is that she would like to bring me.
Okay. What was the guess for?
I think I just rolled a 100.
Is it 3 zeros?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice. You rolled 100. You sent me the picture. So yeah, you get a really special drink. However, unfortunately, I do also need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 20.
Yeah, it's a D20 plus your Constitution.
Cool.
So I ordered a mimosa.
Did you roll a nat 20?
I rolled a nat 1.
A nat 1? Oh, fuck.
How do you crit a D100 and then nat 1 right afterwards? That's
See, it's all
so
her luck.
great.
All that luck went in one roll.
I can't make this shit up.
Oh man. Now, granted, you do have your 1 twist of fate if you would like to use it.
Is it 1 per session or?
Oh no, it is 1.
No, thank you.
Okay. So Quinari takes a few sips, gets drunk, and passes out in the water. Dunzos.
Oh,
She's
Chad's
out.
gonna see that and be like, "We should get her back to her room because she looks pretty gone." And so I pick her up and I'm like, "Shade, would you like to take her?"
Well, yeah, I don't want you to.
Oh.
Actually,
So
Kane.
bad. Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
can we get her to a place to sleep this off?
Yes. I didn't mean to make it that powerful, but
It's okay. It's okay.
she looks to 2 of, like, for lack of a better term, the bouncers that
Right.
are there to help, and they carry her to the room. And Chaddious, you have a very nondescript mimosa. It tastes great. It's a wonderful drink. I already know that your Constitution is like kind of fine. So you do get buzzed, being that you don't leave Otterton very often, if at all. So you're definitely like on the buzzed side of things.
I yell at the bouncers. I'm like, "You better make sure she gets back to her room, okay?"
Chaddious, she's fine. I promise.
Yeah.
I can't
What
lose
are
an
you- She's fine.
adventure before we even
You're-
enter the first dungeon.
You're not going to lose the
First
adventure.
dungeon. My God.
I look at this and I'm like, Have we ever been to a dungeon on this island?
And she's still just looking in the direction that Amethyst went. I'm like, have we even been into a dungeon? Like, I mean, I know we go into ruins all the time, but do you really consider them?
Does it count as a dungeon?
Yeah, like there's no chains, there's no
I don't.
middle bars. I mean,
No, I don't think there's a dungeon on this whole island,
I think
but it's okay.
I think someone might have a book.
I'm gonna tell you, Amethyst is fine. He's with Teddy. Teddy's not gonna let anything happen to him.
I mean, I know, and like you hear like the nervousness.
I promise, Teddy will never let anything happen to him.
Okay.
And you know, everybody sees Teddy as a big, fun, playful thing, but when he left, it was almost scary.
Mm-hmm.
The change that came over him. Like the tentacles came up, the one stump and the real one, and they pointed forward, and when he took off, it was at a dead run.
Nice.
So Teddy's gonna take care of him, I promise. And all the drakes and everything out there, they know Teddy. He's gonna be just fine, I promise.
Okay. And she
Now
kind of
come over here, drink your tea, and enjoy the company.
Yeah. Speaking of the tea, like an elderberry chamomile tea, it is a very, very sleepy time tea. And you know, Keen knows you very well, so she gives you a tea to help calm the nerves and help you get to bed when you're ready.
And just like nods and thanks towards Keen, because those that are closest to her know why.
Mm-hmm.
And so she really does appreciate that of everyone.
Yeah.
And she does sit next to Shade as she like blows on her tea and starts drinking it. She has her legs like bent at the knee and like up against her body, so she still doesn't look like completely comfortable in a sense, but she's accepting the situation because she's drinking her tea.
As everyone relaxes and drinks their drinks,
I'm talking to a plant.
And talks to a plant.
I wish I wasn't blacked out drunk for this.
Is there anything else before we call a close to the day and also this session?
Literally, I am playing chaperone.
Yes.
So after I drink that, I just want some pick-me-up tea to keep me awake so I can make sure everybody gets to bed.
Okay.
And when everybody's to bed, I will have a few drinks with Keen, talk about old times and everything that, you know, we've seen, and send thoughts out to Teddy and go to bed myself.
Nice.
So before you go to bed, Chad is gonna come up to you and be like, Shade, before I head up, I just want to let you know that I am super, super glad that you came, and I really do appreciate you believing in me. Most people, and I don't know if you're aware of this because it baffles me that people even think this, but some people actually think that I am out of my mind. But you believe in me, so I really appreciate you. Anyway, I'm heading
completely. Go to bed.
Well, thank you. And I sip the last mimosa, and I'm like, yes! Slumber party, anyone?
I think you can take Harrye with you.
You just hear Quinari just snoring.
And
Are we all sleeping in the same room?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. So Quinari is letting out a massive snore. Everyone can hear.
Ugleo's going to ask Amethyst, I don't think he's been around dragons much, but ask Amethyst of any anything I should know before we talk to any of these drakes and dragons. Anything I should know, what to do, what not to do.
For you,
I am but an owl.
I think maybe best not talk. You're terrible at it. Honestly, it's not your best attribute.
Well, I'm an owl.
Yes.
And folks don't really. The social norms that humans have is very weird. So,
Amethyst will kind of like, I don't know, almost do like a horse shake of their head, and just say, if you have questions, you let me know, and I will translate for you. I think it might come better coming from us.
all right. If anything goes sour, I got your back. Literally, I will be on your back. I will not leave that space whatsoever. It's probably my safest bet, but I will be there to support as
I will be there.
if there's any tussle coming up.
Wow, Keys. I will be there. That's
I heard it too.
God.
I mean, it's been the best joke so far.
I couldn't pass it.
I heard it
I
too.
love
I'm not
that.
gonna lie.
I love like he's pointed out the picture because when the Drake was like, maybe just don't talk, the shocked expression of the owl popped up. And I was just like,
It's so good. I can't
Oh,
get
that
over
is a
this picture.
That is a beautiful owl picture. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like it encapsulates like his whole demeanor. Just like, what? Who?
Holy shit!
And
What?
that is where we will end today's session.
Oh yes.
For the listeners out there, if you are not in the $8 tier on Patreon /This Dungeon is Occupied podcast, you get all of the bonus content. You get the unedited version of these sessions. It is a 4-hour session. And even though we are ending this session, there is a little bit of bonus content at the end of the session where we will talk about things and debrief, and shoot off some more like behind the scenes questions that you won't get in the regular podcast. You will only get it in the $8 or above tiers on Patreon. So consider joining that. But free ways to support us is giving us a review and a 5-star rating on the platform of your choosing, and share the podcast with a friend and do the things. All of our links are in the link tree down in the show notes. Without further ado, remember to check your dungeons, because this dungeon is occupied.